And guys, how you doing? Thought we'd carry on with the Road to 1700 game. So I hit another 2100 today in my speed run. So I'm feeling like maybe I'm playing okay. Carry on. I'm 16-17 and we're facing the English. Goodness me. Okay, so here we're gonna take life easy. Really don't know my theory too well at all really against the English. I guess the bishop can come here. Fianchettoing this bishop, I don't know. There's an argument for it. We could try and beat white to the punch as well and try and fianchetto first on our queen side to counter this one. Depends what he wants to do. Hey, boo. Let's see what else. Let's just bring out the opposite knight for now. I feel like that can't be a bad move. We'll see. Opponent is 1595 from Mongolia. Alright. Now this would come out and pin the knight. I think that's worth doing. It might prompt a3, which you could then argue is a wasted move. We just trade off. There we go, we trade. Alright, so we have no dark squared bishop now. White still has the bishop pair. We are ready to castle. Question is, do we want to strike out for the centre? I'd like to make these pawns more of a weakness if possible. So I really don't want to give white an opportunity just to resolve these double pawns. So I'm thinking maybe knight c6. d6 looks fine. Let's play knight c6 for now. Ooh, okay. Kind of a Maroczy bind structure here now. He's doing a lot with pawns and absolutely nothing with his pieces right now. Nothing whatsoever. So this would seem to make sense, I think. Maybe castles. I could even think about developing my bishop and my queen and maybe long castles. But, white's got a bunch of clumsy pawns on the queen side. It would make life very easy, I think, strategy-wise, for white to go, okay, I'm just going to throw these pawns up the board, if I was to go long. And so I'm thinking maybe don't go long. So I'm looking at the pin here. This bishop needs to come out, right? So this doesn't make any sense, this diagonal. This diagonal, don't know. But this one, at least for now, we're pinning down the knight. He might again be prompted to push another edge pawn. Okay, he's broken that. I think we're just going to short castle now and crack on. Okay, seems like we've come to a fork in the road. I think queen d7 makes a load of sense. This knight's going to kind of struggle. I think h6 maybe. But then what you want to say to yourself is, look, let's say he plays knight g5 or bishop g5. Can we then do this? I think we just can. So I'm just going to lift my queen, finally connect my rooks. This is move 9, because we've spent one extra move trading on c3. That's why we haven't completed development in 8 moves, which is the quickest that you can do it. Okay, so we have rook e1. This knight is not in a pin. One thing I could ask myself is my bishop better than that knight? Does it make sense to trade off here? My central pawns are on dark squares. So, and there is still some potential for mobility in the centre. I know the e pawn is currently locked. So the e file is currently locked. Might also think about moving this knight, maybe push with f4. That would leave these 3 pawns as an island. He's already got a slight weakness with the a pawn being isolated. So I'm thinking, what about h6, knight h7? Kind of like that. And I don't see a real issue with it right now. So now we're kind of in the middle game. Okay, white's a couple of moves off actually completing development properly, arguably. I don't like his bishop, this dark squared bishop. Okay, so he's targeting b7. I have no dark squared bishop, so what if I push b6? He pushes, I take. No, kind of happy with that. Means also that the queen's the only piece defending this knight right now. This bishop is pretty bad. This bishop can't go there, there either. So it's not got a whole load of options. These pawns are forming somewhat of a blockade in white's own position. And he can't just push his way out there because I just capture. So he's on 15 minutes. He's spent an average of 10 seconds per move so far. A5 is a thought. It'll limit the mobility of this pawn. I figure if I get A5, A4 in, that would be interesting. Okay, there we go. So he's coming after my bishop. I have two options, bishop H5 or bishop E6. Another option is actually to trade the bishop for these two pawns. Get my queen onto H3. Then I'm threatening to come in with a knight, but we notice that the knight guards H2, which would be my checkmating square, right? Takes, takes, takes. Queen's on H3. This bishop's off the board. So my knight could come in here. My queen could try and give check, but notice the king already has an escape square. So I don't see any value in that right now. If I move back to E6, am I worried about this move? I can't allow a fork here. Or is it just time to move my knight around? Well, not immediately, obviously, because I have this. Another option, of course, is to trade the bishop, yeah? You see how naturally I went to saying there were two options to evade. Well, there's not two options here. Trading down for two pawns is another option, and trading for the knight is another option. If I was to move my bishop to E6, how good of a piece is that bishop? If I come here, we could even get G5, bishop G4, bishop comes to G6, not very happy. Does it want to be here? Do I want to encourage white? If I do takes, 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 he's got three central pawns now. If I trade for the knight, bishop takes, this knight can come around here. I think that looks okay. We'll find out later what the engine thinks. Okay, now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my knight around. Ideally what I want to do is I want to keep the center of this board now locked. Why? My opponent has two bishops and I have two knights. I've traded both of my bishops for white's two knights. Whoa. So I'm definitely looking at the move C5. Now right now, I could, for example, if I was to play this, I could have this kind of pawn structure. If I play C5, then this pawn on D6 is somewhat backwards, but in a very locked position. So here, if he pushes, I takey, takey, takey. Or I've just got this. A5 is a move. It feels kind of slow and a bit pointless. This, and he pushes. Let's just say, you know, everything trades. Queen would end up in the middle, wouldn't it? I'm not super against that move. I think knight G6 is a very clear non-mistake. I think knight G6 is perfectly playable now. Okay, this is push G3, prevents my knight from advancing, but it also means the king is the only defender of this pawn here. Now, a move like that, pivoting the knight around, I'm starting to threaten stuff, you know. I'm going to do that. He may snatch it with his bishop, right? In which case I can take with the pawn. Okay, he's defending again. It looks like he's not got an awful lot of material around the king, you know, in terms of defense. I mean, I've got these two knights together having very good control over the dark squares. What about f5 now then? I love f5. If I take and take, then he's got doubled isolated c-pawns and an isolated... Okay, there we go. So take that with the queen. I'm actually, oops, I'm threatening this pawn outright. It's completely undefended at this point. He might want to put his bishop here. That's a possibility. I know it's covered twice currently by white. Okay, so he's defended with the rook. Feels like this rook now maybe wants to come and join the fun. Again, he's still on 15 minutes now. This guy's playing very quickly. Undefended, defended by bishop. I'm just trying to get a feel now for how is this game going to resolve itself. That doesn't work. He's got double eyes on it. Can I lift a rook? Maybe I just need to double up my rooks. Just simple as this. Oh, hang on. His bishop can dive in here. Double up my rook. Yeah, I think that maybe. That. Also, it makes it possible for the rook to slide over to g6 and maybe be part of some kind of attacking idea. So here, if my queen steps out of the way, I've then got two rooks looking at the f2 pawn, which is currently only defended by one rook. Oh, okay. Hang on, this, that. Oh, missed that. Okay, well, no, it's not the end of the world. It's defended by the knight, so I'm just going to drop back here. I don't think I approve of bishop takes knight, rook takes. This rook's going to come over to f8 anyway, in the semi-open file. Oh! My rook was hanging. My rook is completely hanging. Oh no! How did I miss that? Since that pawn capture, I just didn't calculate that at all. Now, as things stand, I don't think my opponent's seen it. But I know that's... Oh, he's seen it. Curses. Curses. If I do this now, the bishop's just going to fly back and defend, isn't it? Bugger. Here, takes, queen takes, king in corner. It's a thought. But I'm not happy. Can I get a perpetual that way? Takes, queen takes. Gets forced. I have no check here because his queen covers it. No. Terrible. Terrible, 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 terrible. Let's have a quick look at the review. I felt I was doing alright. What did I do wrong? Well, I stopped looking over my shoulder. I was looking forwards at how to win the game and I forgot not to lose. Okay, so my opponent's now over 1600. I've dropped down to 1608. And yeah, look at this. Really, really tight up to this point. F5 here, I thought it was a sexy move. The computer said, bar bar. I did play like a 1600. My opponent played 300 points better. Okay. And the problem is that's a great move because it's got a discovery against the rook. There. This was wrong because obviously it gave me an opportunity to save the rook, which I completely missed. And rubbish. Let's try again. Try another one. See what we get. You see? So if people are sitting there thinking, well, I'd never be able to play against a 1600. Well, 1600s make blunders, Okay, we've got an Italian. I'm going for a Russo gambit. Why not? Why the hell not? Not many people know it. If d3, we'll go probably Lucchini. If he takes, that's just better for white, for black. This is a 10-7 game. If I lose this, I'm still 1601. If I win it, I get my points back from the previous one. So I might have lost 9 with that one. Yeah, I lost 9. That was a weird one. Win 8, lose 9. Maybe my opponent's got a relatively new account. Okay. Good move. If I take here, I think it's the move. I mean, it's the whole idea is to gain the tempo against this knight. Now, should this knight move, I really need to do this, I think. I'm fairly familiar with the Russo. I don't think I'm an expert in it. My opponent is doing a good job there. So the present issue is the knight's on prise. Okay, Woody? And he's also taking his time. Okay, now I think that's a mistake because queen comes out and it simply forks, right? So I think what I have to do is this. Actually, or is it d5? d5, queen comes out, I have g6, knight takes, knight f6. I think this is the move. I think I had this the other day, and the point is to get this tempo in. Queen out, knight, queen h5, check g6. Okay, now I can play this move out. Oh, hang on. It's got 2 attackers on the knight, 1 defender currently. So do I need to bring my bishop there? Knight is pinned. Maybe bishop there. Or I lift the queen. That's another option. Or actually queen f6 in some of these openings is good. Queen f6, queen comes in, g6. That doesn't work then. I can just take the knight. Queen f6 takes, pawn takes. So I've got a couple of ideas. So bishop d7 or queen f6. Queen f6 prevents me from playing knight f6, but it does cover the queen h5 check issue. I'm going to play queen f6. Pre-move the pawn recapture. Obviously I'm not going to recapture with the queen, because it would then get taken by the other piece. But as things stand, we have a decent pawn structure. Right? I've got some mobility here. White has a couple of pieces out in the board to show for his 6 moves. Okay. I still can't take the knight. I could threaten the knight here with my bishop. Quite like that idea. I think bishop here, then probably knight ge7. Bishop here, can the queen come out? Still g6. Okay, I'm going to threaten the knight now. Ah! No, that's a blunder. Look at this. I've just blocked the queen's defense of that. However, say knight takes, I can actually come here and threaten mate, but I can't recapture. Oh, Hunter, you absolute... Right, this is a bit desperate, but I'm giving up my bishop. Now I can take the knight back. Okay, so I am a piece down for a pawn. However, it's quite an important pawn. This is forced. He has to spend the next move moving his bishop. Okay. Here, king goes here. I want to get my knight out. I want to get castled quickly. I think I just need to vacate the f6 square. See, I saw that and then immediately I regretted it. Okay, I'm not worried about this bishop coming in. See, I'm actually playing these games quicker than I've been playing my my speedrun games. Don't know why. So I'm a piece down. Just for 1 pawn. I have a good centre. So what I have to do now is... ooh, what? You really want to open stuff up? You're stopping my knight coming in. Do I have ideas of this? Could I? A queen here. If I take, it's going to take back with the bishop. Bishop defends the pawn. Queen will come and defend the pawn. Everyone's going to be defending everything. This. Bishop. How does he stop that? He lifts a rook. That works. If he takes here, I can take with the knight. Okay, I think that's all right. Or actually, bishop here. He takes, bishop takes, and that's another nice attacker on there, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to castle now. Oh, and blunder my queen. Bloody hell. Come on, Hunty. Come on. What a slide. So I'm playing 15 plus 10 as though it's a 5-minute blitz. That's what I'm doing. And my opponent's now 1841. Great stuff. Okay, let's go for it anyway. I suspect at this rate I'm going to meet my speed run going the other way. Okay, we've got another Italian. Let's try it. Let's see how an 1800 plays this. And notice, it is worth remembering, 1800s also blunder. But to lose this would knock me down under 1600 again. But we have Russo Gambit accepted. Wonderful. Okay, Gambit glasses on. And we know what to do here. This is rather a spicy line. Now the knight really needs to go away. You can't go there or there because queen guards. You can't go there or there because knight guards, right? And when the knight goes away, I think we dive straight in with this knight, hitting the queen. Then we might take this pawn back at some point. How does that work? So the queen blocks line. This is not good for white. This actually weakens white's position, just as in the Vienna Gambit. So I think it's this. Now the more conservative approach is knight f6, preventing that, and also supporting d5. Here I'm literally threatening that, so the queen goes back. If here and the queen comes out with check, I think I just move the king. I think that's what happens. If he gets all aggressive on me. There, pawn takes, knight f6 hitting the queen. Okay, back he goes. Alright, now I think I can afford to do this or c6. c6 just defends d5, but also knight f6 also supports d5 as well. They're both okay. I'm going to bring them. I'll bring the knight out. Now what we're looking for is the move d3. d3 I think is a blunder here. What happens if we have d3? We take the pawn. Queen takes, discovered check, okay. Right, he's not fallen for that. I think what we do now is we take this pawn with our knight, if I remember my theory. Okay. Now I have this actually straight away. I have this with tempo on the bishop. Bishop b3 is most likely because bishop b5 would be met by c6, again with tempo. Okay. Now you've got to like our position now. Okay. I'm definitely drawn to playing the move c6. just to build my pawn chain, and it also blocks this diagonal towards my king. But if he ever tries anything, I can push c6 then. My issue is getting this bishop out, or this bishop. I could think about long castling. I could think about a kingside pawn storm. Both my knights are quite well placed for that kind of thing. Harry's itching to get going. I do have a semi-open f-file, Vienna style, which is the whole point. And there is a bishop lined up against it. c6. c6 makes long castles less of an idea. Could just bring my bishop out here. Could be attacked. Oops. Could be attacked by his knight. Not really. Not yet. Could play queen here. Maybe eyeing up this, but also maybe eyeing up this after knight there. Quite like that idea. Also threat. You know, I can bring it. Oops. Can bring out my bishop now to d6 with an instant checkmate threat. That's wife coming back from work. Okay, we're back. Just took a short break there to say hello to the missus, which is all very important. Okay, so what's the idea here? He wants to stop the knight coming in, but I have the bishop anyway, right? And we're not even a pawn down in this gambit line now. That's checkmate, right? So he's got to do something. If knight takes, I can take, takes. I'm still threatening pain and destruction. Got 12 minutes 55, that's loads and loads of time. We also have an increment, which means you can use your 12 minutes or 14 minutes that he's got. Okay, he's done this. Notice if my knight moves, this pawn actually hangs. If I take, hitting the rook moves. Okay, let's think this through. Oh, he's got knight takes as well. Maybe what I need to do is just castle first. Or h5, h4. I don't know. I'm not liking white's defensive structure right now. This knight takes. This takes its mate. So here he can't actually take. And I threaten that. Hitting king? Oh, I don't know. That looks kind of good though, doesn't it? Because then I'm also threatening this. So there, does his king have to go here? Then I come in here. I'm going to do that move. I don't know what's going to happen next. I think he needs to do this. And then I've got another check. And then he has to move again. Is he going to move here? I don't know. One thing we know is he can't take there because queen h2 is mate. But that, what an outpost. What an outpost from a knight. Can't be disturbed by a pawn. There's no pawn here or here that can knock it away. And I'm simply threatening bishop takes h3, which hits the rook. And it's all got to come tumbling down if that happens. So, no. So he can't do this. What's he going to do? He can't put his king here because it's in check. So I think king h2 is kind of forced, but then in comes the knight. King has to come here to defend the pawn. Interesting. Now, it must be stated, I have this check, right? Yes, I have the option of capturing en passant. That brings his queen out. That does not help our cause. So I'm thinking this with check. Now, king comes here. I drop my queen back to one of these squares. I'm just threatening queen takes h3, which is like mate in 2 again. Okay, king's moved. If I... Okay, here's an idea. Sacrifice the bishop. I know my queen's still on prise. Sacrifice the bishop. King can't go there or there or there, right? Sacrifice the bishop. He's not going to go in the corner. That is death, because I come here, right? Bishop takes h3 check. He's going to take. I play queen h5. There's only one legal move. He has to go back here, and then that's mate. I don't know. I mean, what's his other option? In the corner. And then I've got queen h5. Threatening mate. Okay, alright. Hunty, calm down. Relax, man. It's alright. Queen h5 is check. He has to go here. That's checkmate. It is checkmate. It's mate in 2. There. Queen h2 is mate. Boom. Alright, where did we start in this? I lost 2 games. I started on 16-17. I'm 16-14 now. Wow. So what have we learned? Don't be a knobhead and blunder stuff, right? I played against a weaker opponent in the first game and I blew it, right? By being too cocky or whatever. I blew the second game. I smashed the third one. My opponent here is an 1800, had 62 accuracy, right? Against an opening that I know. Now, there is a mistake here and I want to check that out. I actually made 2 mistakes in the game. But... okay, well that's the... bzz, bzz, bzz. Oh, yes, not very good. Bang. Okay, now obviously I'm in the Hunty theory land here. Knight d4 is inaccurate. Okay, I should have played knight f6 then, yes? Should play knight f6 first. It's only 0.3 of a pawn though. And it's flummoxed my opponent. Now I play this and it says that wasn't very good. Okay, and if takes. We play knight f6 and harass the bishop? Well, I don't know. Don't know about all that. Anyway, so we did this supporting d5. Remember, I was considering either c6 or knight f6. I went for knight f6 because it's dynamic. We win the pawn back. I'm -1 now already. And castles wasn't fantastic. That's a great move. Obvs. It's just with tempo, you know. Bishop b3. Now I was tempted to play c6. I didn't. Knight h4. Yeah, d3 there. I guess he's just, with d3, he's just threatening to open up the e file with my king and queen on it. But that was a blunder, you know. He's fine here. That's just all shades of wrong. Great move, super pressure, it's -5. That's the best move. That was the best move. Very exciting time. d4, meh. And now what do we do? Boom! Shakalak. And that's not too great either. And that is my brilliant move. Mate in 4, whichever way you shake it. Yeah, king h1 was the bam bam. Okay, well, fellow human, sorry, you got the wrong end of a gambit that time. So that was a load of fun, wasn't it? The agony and the ecstasy of chess. But that one, that was the thing of beauty. What did it give me rating wise? Let's guess that, 2000. And our opponent played badly, you know. He's an 1800, and he played well under his thing. That's the confidence thing. That's the cockiness thing. But this is the level that I'm capable of playing at now. When I take my time and don't bugger it up. So anyway, we'll leave it there. thanks for sharing this experience with me. Please like and subscribe and all that, and I'll see you soon.